Everyone, this is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person would not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Lastly, I need everyone to raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay. All right, let's begin on the lady side with Miss Adewole.
Yes, Your Honor.
And yes,
Oh, no, I'm pulling her up. Miss
I'm
Adewale.
sorry.
I said, I'm pulling her up, Your Honor.
Okay. Attorney Hodges, there were family members that logged on to this Zoom before you came on. Is it your intent to present testimony from these family members?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So normally there's a Zoom link that people can log on to. Mr. Adewole was very respectful when I spoke to him earlier. The reason we don't want family members having this link, because you would be surprised at the stuff that comes across and that will get broadcast all over the internet of people doing all kind of things in their house. We've had people go to the bathroom while they've been on Zoom. We've had all kind of things. So for attorneys, please do not give the Zoom link unless it's your intent to call this person as a witness.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. My apologies to the court, and we are not going to call Mr. Adewale
Okay.
for
So, Ms. Adewale, I would normally speak to you directly, but you've taken advantage of the opportunity to hire lawyers. So I'm going to speak to your lawyers instead of you, but I want to admonish you that this is not a private situation. This is being broadcast all over the internet. So unless, well, the way that I phrase the term is, don't say anything that you would not want the whole world to know. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. So, Attorney Hodges, your client has been charged with one count of battery as a misdemeanor and one count of cruelty to children in the second degree as a felony. I've initially set a bond of $5,000 for each offense, and I've placed a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Faith Davis Heron. But I will listen to you, ma'am, about anything you want to tell me about your client or the case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Adewale actually went and turned herself in. She's been a teacher for over 10 years. She has ties to the community. She's never been in any trouble. This is her first offense ever. So we're asking for a signature bond for Ms. Adewale. She is not able to place a bond that would be too high, Your Honor. And there would be no issue with her showing back up. Like we said, she turned herself in. She has her whole family here, as you can see, with her, some of them being on the call. So we're asking for a signature bond for both counts.
Okay, so the way that it works now is now called unsecured judicial release, and it comes through the chief judge. So if she's asking for that, I would have to continue her case until tomorrow so that I could speak with the chief judge about the facts and circumstances of this case. And then the chief judge makes a decision as to whether she is granted an unsecured judicial release or not.
Well, no, we don't.
Yeah. Go ahead, Attorney Hodge. I'm sorry.
We don't want to continue it until tomorrow, then, Your Honor. So if possible, could we do we're asking for a small bond of $1,000 on both counts.
With the stay away provision remaining in place?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so what I'll do is this. Your client does not have a criminal record. I'm going to, on the battery, I'm going to reduce it to $1,000 with the stay away provision in place, but on the felony, cruelty to children in the second degree, I'm gonna set a $2,000 bond. So that's a total bond of $3,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But the stay away provision as it relates to Faith Davis Heron will remain in place. And I don't know if this child is still at the daycare or not, but if the child is still at the daycare, that's going to impact her employment status.
Yes, Your Honor, and we will, I'm not sure if she's still at the daycare, but we'll talk to Ms. Adewale about that and explain everything to her to make sure that we don't have any issues. She will definitely have no problem staying away.
And based upon what I read in the warrant, whatever actions that took place were videotaped. So that's going to be something I think that's going to play heavily in this case. I don't mind reducing the bond for someone with no criminal history. But I just think she needs to know that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Her preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon her bonding out, and she'll get a new court date in the mail when this case is indicted, or if it's indicted in the Superior Court. Do you have any questions for me?
No questions, Your Honor, and that concludes our business. So may we be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, Ms. Adewole is free to go back.
Thank you. Your Honor. Ms. Logan? You can go back to you. What's your full name?
Jessica Denise Sturgis Logan.
Give me 1 second, Ms. Logan. Okay, Ms. Logan, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of battery. I've set the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Shannon Brown. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, sir. The bond, this is my first time ever being arrested. So the bond at 5,000, that means, how much do I have to pay?
About $500 through a bonding company.
Oh, okay. Okay. I will try to do that.
Okay. Any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Roach? Ms. Roach, ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of loitering or prowling. The bond is going to be set at $1,000 by schedule. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Don't that take 10% off, right? Of that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Any other questions?
You said tomorrow, right? For
Tomorrow for what?
the next court date.
It is November 30th at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little bit after Thanksgiving. But if you bond out, that date will get waived. Okay. Anything else, ma'am?
No, what happens if somebody does come up here and does pay for the bond?
Then you get out of jail.
Okay. No more questions.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Ms. Springer?
Wait, were you gonna do Ms. Scott or Springer? She was an add-on.
I was gonna say Ms. Scott for last, but I can do it right now if you have it ready.
Oh, we got Springer.
Okay. Ms. Springer, ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of terroristic threats or acts. This is being written as a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Kyle Springer, which has come up twice in my paperwork. Do you understand the stay away provision, ma'am? I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yes, I do.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. So you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. All right, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Williams? Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of family violence battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Ooh, how much would that be?
About $500.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Uh, um, There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Kyle Springer. Do you understand that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes,
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
no, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Scott?
Thank you.
Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. And the bond's going to be set at $3,000 and one count of simple battery. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. Both of these are misdemeanor offenses. There's a total bond of $7,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Chanel burst. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No,
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
no, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. That's all I have on the ladies' side. Is there anyone else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Have a good weekend. So we're still waiting on the interpreter for Mr. Balion. So we'll start with Mr. Ashley.
Hey, Your Honor.
Yes,
Hey, Ms. Scott, she said she was unaware that the court appointed attorney was a public defender. She said she does want a public defender.
she does or does not.
She does.
Okay. Bring her back. Ms. Scott, are you currently working?
Yes,
About how much do you make per hour?
$23.
You said $23?
Yes,
Okay. You qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions?
no, sir, that was everything.
Okay, you're free to go back, ma'am. All right, are you Mr. Ashley?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you've been charged with one count of aggravated stalking. I cannot set bond for this offense at this time. There's also going to be a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from a Brianna Williams. Do you understand that?
Sure.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 12th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. And you're going to have a bond hearing date set for December 3rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How much do you earn per hour?
1750.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank
Mr. Is it Benet Culberson or Culberson Benet?
He's coming up, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, what's your true and correct legal last name?
Renee Cobus.
Okay. Sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass, damage to property. I've set the bond at $1,000. One count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon. I set the bond at $10,000. Another count of possession of a weapon during the commission of the crime. I've also set the bond at $10,000. And one count of simple possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. I've set the bond at $3,000. So that's a total bond of $24,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Sylvia Norwood. Do you understand that?
Sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Have you hired your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Banks? Mr. Banks, sir, you're charged with one count of simple battery. That's a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. And a second count of simple battery. Bond is going to also be set at $4,000. So that's a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, sir, I cannot. I'm hoping maybe for like a signature bond or OR bond, please.
Okay, so the process of going through that is I would have to continue your case over to tomorrow and then speak to my boss to see if she wants to grant you a signature bond or not. Looks like you have 11 cycles in your criminal history, so I'm very wary that she's going to grant a signature bond, but it's her decision. So if you want to sit in jail another day for her answer, I'm perfectly willing to let that happen.
However you'd like to do it, we can get this done.
Sir, a signature bond is not something that is just given away freely. Okay, so you have a lot in your criminal history, including a probation revocation in 2010. So if you believe that that makes you a great candidate to be released on your own recognizance, all you got to do is ask. But I'm telling you, I don't see it.
Understood. I mean, I'm employed. I live close by. I make my court dates for the most part.
But can you stop getting arrested?
If people leave me alone and stop being jerks.
Hey, hey, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. If that was the logic that carried the day, we'd be fighting every day. Once somebody blow their horn at me when the light changes based upon your logic, I get to get out of my car and beat the crap out of them because they didn't leave me alone. Do you understand how that is a threat to public safety?
Yes, understood.
Okay, so there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, a stay away for Chandrika Brown and Nicole Green. Do you understand that?
Understood.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sure.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, not right. So I still have a bond.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
that
sir.
is, once again, it's how much?
$8,000 total.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Marie, if you can hear me, would you check in with Miss Fitzgerald to see what's the holdup?
Sure.
Thank you. Mr. Briggs.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you're charged with one count of discharging a firearm near a highway. This is a misdemeanor. I've set the bond at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Based upon what I've read, Mr. Briggs, next time call the police. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. You didn't fill out the form, so do you plan on hiring your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have any questions for me, Mr. Briggs?
Yes, sir. Since this is my first offense, is it any way to get that bill down to 2,000?
Tell you what, I'll reduce it down. Hold on one second before I do that. So, Mr. Briggs, you were arrested in Forest Park on June 21st of 2017. And that charge was dismissed. And now this is your second arrest. Okay. I'll set it at $2,000. Do you have anything else, sir?
No, thank you,
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, so you're charged with 1 count of improper lane change, 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol. Your bond is going to be set at $500 on the improper lane change and $5,000 on the driving under the influence charge. So that's a total bond of $5,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yeah.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No,
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
no.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter, sir, you've been charged with, looks like 6 offenses. One is giving false name, address, or date of birth. Bond is going to be set at $2,000 for that offense. 1 count of obstructing an officer. Bond is also going to be set at $2,000. There's 2 window tint violations from separate dates, and the bond is going to be set at $500 for each of those offenses. 1 count of simple possession of a controlled substance. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. And 1 count of fleeing from a police officer. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. So you're going to have a total bond of, let's see, 6, 4, $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Well, not pertaining Clayton County though. I got probation in Fed, so I just want to know like would they come get me so I can count that to deal with all that.
They might.
So
There's a good chance that they might.
So I had to go to court first here.
I'm sorry, sir.
I said so I had to go to court here first.
I've given you a bond, so you make that bond and there's no hold, you get out. You make the bond and there's a hold, you don't get out.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay? All right, sir, you're free to go back.
All right.
Mr. Cotton?
He's coming up, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cotton, sir, you've been charged with one count of driving under the influence. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. One count of having an open container in your vehicle. Bond is going to be set at $500. One count of use or possession of drug-related objects. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. And one count of improper stopping in the roadway. Bond is going to be set at $500. So you're going to have a total bond of $7,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And if I can,
You said if you can't, then you'll remain in custody until your preliminary hearing. Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. You didn't fill out your form. Is it your intent to hire your own lawyer?
yeah, I'm gonna have to check with my wife.
Okay.
We're gonna decide. But if I can't make the bail, then do I get to get out?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I'll do a property bond. Do a property bond, take care of this?
Yes. You have three ways that you can post a bond. You can post the entire amount in cash, and you would deliver that to the sheriff's department, and they'd hold that money until your case is resolved, and they return it back to you. You can go through a bail bondsman where you have to pay a certain percentage of the bond as a fee to the bail bondsman. That fee will not be returned. Or if you have property that has equity at least 3 times the bond amount, you can put up the property and the sheriff will place a lien on the property. And once your case is resolved, the lien will be removed.
Okay.
All right, you're free to go back, sir.
All right.
Mr. Elliott.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Elliott. You're charged with one count of simple battery, family violence. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. One count of false imprisonment. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. And one count of kidnapping. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. So you're going to have a total bond of $19,000. So you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from a Christian warrant. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I already have a paid lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
How much do I have to pay for the bond, sir?
If you go through a bonding company, it's going to be approximately 10% of the bond amount.
Which is how the amount, how much is the amount, sir?
19,000 is the bond. So it's going to be 10% of that.
So I have to pay 1,000?
Roughly, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Fortson. Mr. Fortson, you've been charged with one count of family violence battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. One count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. The bond is going to be set at $3,000. Both of these are misdemeanor offenses. So the total bond is going to be set at $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from a Diamond Clark. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Fortson.
Thank you.
Mr. Gay? Sir, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass, going back to a property that you were told to stay away from. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from 1625 Conley Road in Conley, Georgia. Do you understand that?
Even if I own the property.
So, Mr. Gay,
Yes, sir.
you were given a criminal trespass warning to stay away from the property. Ownership is separate from that issue, okay?
Okay, no
All right.
problem.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I already got, my lawyer been over there since yesterday. You said 1,500?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can make that bond.
Okay, sir. You're free to go back.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Marie. I saw your message. Mr. Hayes.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hayes, sir, you're charged with one count of aggravated assault by strangulation. I cannot set bond for that offense at this stage because there's an indication that you are on bond from an aggravated assault arrest on July 6th of 2020. I've set a $3,000 bond for the criminal trespass, damage to property, and that's a misdemeanor offense. There's going to be a stay away provision on your bond, stay away from a Lindsay Burnett. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. There's also going to be a bond hearing date set for December 3rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently working, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you qualify for the appointment of lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
So I gotta sit until December 1st?
Most likely, yes. Your lawyer may be able to speak to the district attorney after investigating the facts of your case. But I cannot set bond, as I indicated before, because it looks like you were arrested for aggravated assault last year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, anything else?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Jones.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. So you're charged with one count of obstructing an officer. I've set bond at $2,000. I've denied bond on the next two drug-related charges, but I did set bond of $1,500 on the use or possession of drug-related objects. I've set a $2,000 bond on the tampering with evidence, and I've denied bond on the possession of a weapon, the two counts of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. There's a $2,000 bond set for theft by receiving stolen property. And I've denied bond on the violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. So you have 5 counts where bond has been denied. And for the other counts, bond has been granted at $7,500. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for December 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for December 3rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, it looks like you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir. Your Honor, I have no felony convictions on my record. I understand that the allegations may be kind of harsh against me, but I want to know maybe they could be taken into consideration and maybe a bond could be given to me on those felonies.
Hold on, let me look. My recollection is not that you don't have a criminal history.
I have misdemeanors, but I've never been convicted of any felony charges.
So according to this, Mr. Jones, you have, it looks like 19 cycles on your criminal history. And what that means, how you doing, Ms. Fitzgerald? I'll get to you in a second.
Yes,
that
Your Honor,
means-
thank you.
Okay, those are encounters with law enforcement.
Yes, sir, but none of those have ever been any convictions of any felonies. It's just a bunch
So,
of.
Mr. Jones, I have to think about public safety.
Your Honor, I cause no threat to society. I just get into petty trouble every now and then. That there's something of my childhood really that I'm growing out of. I have no problem guaranteeing you that I will cause no trouble. I will come to court.
No, Mr. Jones, I'm sorry. You're not going to sway me with that argument.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because these are felony charges that you've been charged with now. So based upon your criminal history, you may be looking at significant time. I just need to be honest with you about that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
All right, sir, you're free to go back.
I have one more question, sir.
Yes, sir.
How likely would my bond be granted on December 3rd?
That depends honestly on the advocacy of the lawyer. Because based upon what I read, there's a whole lot of drug activity that's been alleged. And you know, guns, and in my opinion, it doesn't look well. But all I have is the one-sided warrant to go off of.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's bring Mr. Balon up. Ms. Fitzgerald, you raise your right hand for me, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you swear or affirm to the best of your skill and knowledge that you will translate these proceedings from English into Spanish and from Spanish into English?
I swear, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Balon, sir, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor Bailón, ¿usted puede escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
Sir, you've been charged with one count of speeding. Bond is going to be set at $500.
Señor, usted ha sido acusado de manejar a alta velocidad. La fianza para salir de la cárcel va a ser de $500.
And one count of driving a vehicle without a valid license.
Y tiene otro cargo de manejar sin licencia.
Bond is going to be set at $1,000 for that offense.
Por ese cargo, la fianza va a ser $1,000.
Do you know if your family has already made arrangements to post your bond?
¿Usted sabe si su familia ya ha hecho algún arreglo para pagar la fianza?
No sé, pero los $1,000 yo lo tengo.
Okay, I don't know, but I do have $1,000 on me.
Okay, sir, this is your preliminary, I'm sorry, this is your first appearance hearing.
Esta es lo que se llama primera audiencia frente al juez.
I'm not here to determine whether you're guilty or innocent.
Aquí no estoy para determinar si usted es inocente o culpable.
I'm here to set bond for your offenses.
Yo solamente estoy aquí para imponer la fianza basándome en los cargos que usted tiene,
To schedule preliminary hearings,
a darle una cita para la próxima audiencia frente a un juez, que es la audiencia preliminar,
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
para determinar si usted necesita la ayuda de un abogado.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201.
Su audiencia preliminar va a ser el día 30 de noviembre a las 8:30 de la mañana en la sala 201 del tribunal.
That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
Pero si usted sale bajo fianza, no va a tener que ir a esa audiencia que le acabo de decir y le vamos a mandar por correo la fecha de la nueva audiencia.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Usted quiere que veamos si usted califica para el abogado gratuito?
Para agarrar abogado,
¿Cómo?
para agarrar abogado, dice.
To get a lawyer, you mean?
Yes, sir.
Sí, señor.
Oh, ¿y cómo así? ¿No pago cuántas horas debo de cumplir aquí?
No le entiendo, ¿qué?
Si no pago, ¿cuántas horas debo de cumplir aquí?
I don't understand. If I don't pay, how many hours do I have to stay here?
If you don't post your bond, you will stay here until November 30th at the earliest.
Si usted no sale bajo fianza, si usted no paga para salir, va a estar ahí preso hasta el 30 de noviembre.
The appointment of a lawyer has nothing to do with your bond.
Yeah. Que le ponga abogado no tiene nada que ver con la fianza. No tiene nada que ver una cosa con la otra que estamos hablando.
Okay.
Ok.
So do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Entonces, ¿quiere que le haga preguntas para ver si califica para que le ponga el abogado gratis del tribunal o no? ¿Eso qué fue?
Sí.
Ok, yes.
Are you currently working, sir?
¿Usted trabaja?
Sí.
Yes.
About how much do you make per hour?
¿Cuánto le pagan la hora?
19.
19.
Okay, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Ok, usted califica. Le vamos a nombrar un abogado gratis del tribunal.
Do you have any other questions for me?
¿Tiene alguna otra pregunta?
Es todo.
That's it.
Thank you, sir. You're free to go back.
Ok, ya se puede ir. Judge, can you tell me again his name?
Okay, it is, the way that it's written is Juan Carlos Bailon, Bailon, Salado, Salado.
Salado, that means salty.
Okay.
Okay, it didn't sound Spanish. I was like, I don't think I had nobody, but hey, Bailon. That's okay.
I've had situations where people have asked for an interpreter and things were getting delayed. And I say, well, hey, I may need to continue your case. And then they start speaking perfect English.
Yes. I'm sure they don't want to stay a minute longer in jail.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. See you next week.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, let's bring up Mr. King.
Good morning, again.
Good morning, Mr. King. Sir, you've been charged with one count of driving under the influence of alcohol. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. One count of driving a vehicle with an expired or invalid tag. Bond is going to be set at $500. And one count of having an open container in the vehicle. Bond is also going to be set at $500. So that's a total bond of $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. King?
No, no, sir.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Pittman.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Pittman. Sir, you're charged with one count of simple possession. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. One count of use or possession of drug-related objects. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. And one count of having a dangerous drug outside of the container. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. So that's a total bond of $6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Pittman. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Thomas?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Mr. Thomas, sir, you're charged with one count of simple possession. I'm going to set the bond at $3,000. You're also charged with possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. I'm going to set the bond at $10,000. And dangerous drugs outside of the container, I'm going to set the bond at $2,000. So that's a total bond of $15,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Be honest with you, sir, no, I can't. Is there any possible way I can get a reduction?
Well,
Simply just a roommate in a Fourth Amendment sees, or whatever you would call that.
I understand a waiver. Your criminal history is a lot more extensive than Mr. Pittman.
Yes, sir.
And so I've tried to remain consistent with the other offenses, the possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime is, tell you what, I'm going to reduce it to $5,000. So that'll be a total bond of $10,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I believe that you may have holes on you. I'm not certain, but the jail staff can clear that up. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for December 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir. I've already planned on getting a lawyer outside.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
You said I have a hole, or possibly have a hole?
That is my recollection. Let me look again. I go through so many criminal histories that sometimes things bleed together.
Yes, sir. So I want to say I've tried to stay clean and out of trouble for a while now.
For some reason, Paulding County is coming to mind, but let me see. I don't see a hole. Walton County, it looked like you're close to the line, but you got 12 months probation that should have ran in March of last year.
Yes, sir. I should be done with probation. I remember going to court and ending it.
Yeah, so maybe I was wrong, but I don't see anything that shows that a hold is pending for you. Okay, you're free to go back.
All right.
Mr. Turner. Morning, Mr. Turner. Sir, you're charged with one count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 and one count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000 for a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post this bond? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from Shavonia Franklin. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 30th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Could you, tell me the bond amount again?
Total bond amount is $8,000.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do we have Mr. Tucker?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Tucker. You've been brought back because your charge was a felony charge,
Yes, sir.
but it was entered as a misdemeanor.
Yes, sir. It was a clinical error.
Yeah. So we brought you back so that we can get you placed in the right slot. Your bond is going to go up from 2,000 to 10,000. 2,000 is the amount for misdemeanor. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You're going to also, you've been assigned Lister and Holt, which only does misdemeanors. So if you still want a lawyer to represent you, you're going to get transferred to the Clayton County Public Defender's Office.
Okay.
It would not be Lister and Holt. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Tucker?
It's just one count penalty, right? $10,000.
Yes, sir.
No, that'll be all.
Okay. Mr. Tucker,
Yes, sir.
you're a young man. You have
Yes,
a
sir.
whole life ahead of you. This is the,
It was a wild situation. I'm not gonna lie to you. It would never happen again. I wasn't thinking right, and when anger takes control, but at the age now, I let it. You know what I'm saying? I control it now. I do, but sometimes, like when I was younger, it's just like I had a bad attitude. But now I got way much better, as you can see.
right. Learn your triggers.
Uh-huh.
And when you feel that coming on, walk away.
No problem, sir.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And this is going to get transferred over as a felony instead of a misdemeanor. Okay.
Okay. Do you know how long that'll take to update in the system, or has it already updated?
Well, it'll happen today. So you'll be able to post bond. And I don't know. I didn't place a stay away provision on this because it's your mother.
Correct. Right.
So I'm not trying to get in the middle of that situation. So if your family, if they're so inclined, they'll be able to help get you out today. And if they've already made contact with the bonding company, they can just let the bonding company know that this was entered wrong as a misdemeanor, but now it's been corrected, and that your bond is going to be $10,000. So they can then start making all of the arrangements. So when the paperwork comes back, because I'm the person that's responsible for starting the paperwork. So as soon as we get off this camera, I'm going to start the paperwork and sending everything back as soon as possible. But if the bonding company knows the amount, they can go ahead and enter it into. And so when I send my paperwork back and it gets entered in the system, you can be able to leave the jail.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, sir. You're free to go back.
Have a blessed day.
You too. Okay. Is that it for today?
Yes, Your Honor. That's everybody on calendar.
Okay. Well, thank you for your assistance and have a good weekend.
Your Honor.
Okay. Goodbye.